Okay, welcome back, champions. Let's get quickly started with the GSP, right? And today's topic is going to be very important, which is expressions language. Well, expression is something that you want to convey, right? And there are many ways of conveying using complex language, using expressions, using out.print, and there are many different things that we use to convey our message, right? So same is the case with JSP, wherein we will try and convey, right, using expressions language rather than using the traditional out.println or many things like that. So we'll see today, right? It's going to be great fun working with expressions language in JSP, right? And to get started, what I'll show you in a most appropriate and an easy way possible under me. So I'll just go to exp sample. So this is the servlet. I've extended it from HTTP servlet. So the class name is exp sample. So let me quickly go and what is exp here? So it's just like being an expressions language. Alright, so I'll say at the rate of web servlet. Alright, so init, what's init parameters? I'll say URL patterns is going to be /exp. So when anyone types the URL exp in the address bar, will certainly get to see this exp page. So example page. So I'll say exp. Now what page is before us? It is the exp sample, which is an HTTP server, and by default we know that get is executed. In order to test, you can do out.print ln hello. So in order to just try to request what is out, so I'll say print writer out is equivalent to response dot get writer. Alright, so this is now good enough to print anything. Yeah, we're getting hello, right? So that's done. So this thing is done. So but yeah, we have to learn expressions language, and we'll be handling expressions language in this way. Alright, so what I do right here is for example, if I set an attribute to request, you know that we can set attributes to request. I can say request dot set attribute BATSMAN batsman, and I can set let's say about Smith. Alright, and now the request line contains one attribute, which is the batsman. It's a key and a value, right? So key is batsman and the value is Smith. I'll say request request dot get request dispatcher, and I'll do the forward, right? So I'll say dot, okay, let me get the request dispatcher on the JSP page. We made another JSP page, right? What we have to do, make a servlet, name it expsample.java, and make an exp.jsp page, which will include the headers and footers. And please do not forget, instead of making it true, because by default all the pages are true. Now if I set this to true, let me show you what is going to happen. If I forward my request to exp.jsp, and I'll not include it, but I'll forward the request and the response right here. So the moment I forward request and response from exp, which is exp sample servlet, right? It is a servlet, it's nothing but the servlet, right? So the moment I basically forward the request, right, using request dispatcher from exp sample servlet, which is when you type exp, you will get to execute this get. We'll forward it to exp.jsp using request dispatcher. What are we getting? We are getting this: you're not authorized to visit this page. Why? Because exp.java is protected. So I'll just make this protect page as false, so that I'm not using authorization on this page, or authorization or privilege control on this page. Alright, so we are allowing anonymous access on exp.jsp now by setting it to false. So I'll just type exp again, and here we go. We're getting this page, expressions language, which is exp.jsp, wherein h1 says exp language. So now let's do one thing. We have already set an attribute to request line, and we are forwarding the request to exp.java. Let's go and handle the request and catch it in a traditional way, and then using expressions language. So I will say I'll use expression, not expressions language, right? So I'll say I need to get request.get attribute, and the attribute name is BAT as batsman. So I'll see what we get. right? So we'll have to get, and we are getting Smith. Now actually what is happening, exp will execute the servlet right here, which is get, and in this servlet inside the get method you're forwarding the request to exp.jsp with a request attribute being set as batsman, right? And the value is Smith. So we're getting it, yeah, absolutely nice. So this is using traditional expressions, and now we'll start using expressions language. It's going to be real fun working with expressions language because it's very easy. What is the scope that you're asking? Expressions language starts with dollars, and it includes these, what do you call them, as braces, right? And I'll say, hey, would you please mind, can you ask request scope to give you, right, and say request scope, and I require a value which is set to the request scope, and the value is batsman. So now we will see that we are getting Smith, right? So now you can clearly see you're asking request scope to give me a request attributed value which is batsman, and the value is Smith here. So you're getting it right here, right? What if it's session? So you can ask session scope dot batsman, and at this moment in time you'll be getting null. No, not null, right? You're getting nothing. Why are we getting nothing? Because what we have done, we have set request dot set attribute, and for that, if you want to use session, I'll say http session. The session is equivalent to request dot get session, and instead of setting it to the request, I'll set it to the session. I'll say session dot set attribute batsman and Smith, and now you can clearly see you'll be getting Smith because it's set to the session scope. So we'll try and use a request scope. We don't have to use session scope right here. So I'll use request request, and now you can clearly see, okay, we're still getting it from session because session has not expired. So we'll have to manually delete it. But yeah, we'll say request scope dot batsman, and we are getting Smith. What if there's nothing set to the request scope? For example, there's batsman's, and by that way we should get null. And now you can see nulls are automatically handled by expressions language, right? In order to do that, if I go back to the traditional way and I say, hey, will you mind if you give me request.get attribute batsman, and here if you're using a traditional expression we will get null, right? You can clearly see we're getting null. Why? Because there's nothing like batsman which is set to the request attribute, right? But yeah, if we are now using expressions language, we'll get nothing. Nulls are automatically handled by expressions language. You'll not get null, right? And in order to get the value, you'll have to make it. You'll have to make the key match the value, right? Sorry, key match what you are retrieving from the request line, and you are getting Smith right here. So it's how we basically do it, and it's how we do the rest of things, right? So let's carry on. And the second thing that I want to convey is the following. What else can we do? For example, if I have a get parameter that I want to get, for example, best batsman, right? So we have this best batsman, right? So if I get it from here, how do you get it? So you're still getting Smith from the request scope, but I don't want to get it from the request scope. I want to get it from the param, because this is the parameter we have passed. So now there's nothing coming from the param, right? So in order to retrieve any parameter which is just like a query string, question mark batsman is equivalent to best batsman is equal to Virat. Alright, so we should get Virat here. We're not getting, so because we have to type best batsman right here. So let me go and say param dot best batsman, and you'll see that you're getting Virat right here. Okay, now let me just make a few break lines so that we see. Okay, we're getting Virat, and you can mix it with your own statements. You can say the best batsman is, and you can see that you're still getting the same value. And if you want to surround it with some HTML, you can surround it with some bold tags, and it's as easy. Such is the power of expressions language. Now you can clearly see within seconds that you're getting param batsman, right? Alright, so it's going to be a fun working with this. Let me show you a few more examples of working with expressions. language. For example, let's say about we have a list now instead of having instead of having a value, particular single value which is set to the request attribute or the request line as a single string value. We'll try and set an object, or we'll try and set a list or map or anything like that. So let me show you. So for example, we have a list which is a generic type list. I'll say it is string, list of type string. So I'll say list is equivalent to ARRA. So I will use arrays dot as list. So I'm using this array as list. So I'll just choose 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's call this as let's say we have batsmen now instead of batsman. So we will have batsmen. Right, so let me import it. Java.util.list being imported. So let's say in the map, right? So let's say Babar, Virat, and let's say Sachin. Right, so now we have these batsmen right here. So can we set this to the request attribute? Yeah, we are going to set now. So I'll say request dot set. Okay, sorry, not get but set attribute, which is going to be let's say about the name is going to be best batsmen. All right, so I'll say best batsmen, and we're forwarding list right here. So let me go ahead and handle this in exp.jsp, and exp.jsp is the page we are forwarding request to. So the list, so I can say the list of best, or you can say the list of best batsman, the list of best batsman. Right, so misspelled the word batsman. Is param dot batsman. Okay, so whatever it is, so let me just get rid of this. Okay, so we'll have to get the list, and the list is not going to come from the param, but it's going to come from the request scope. Why is it coming from the request scope? And because this is what we are setting it to, request dot set attribute, and here we are retrieving it, request scope dot best batsman. So we're getting the list of best batsmen is Inzamam, Babar, Virat, and Sachin, right? And what if I want only one? Can we use it as an array? Because we're still getting an array right here. I'll say yes, we can use as an array. So let me just get rid of this. Okay, so I need to get the 0th element of the array, which I suppose is Inzamam. So we'll get Inzamam, right? I can clearly see. And if I want to get the first element of the array, which is I suppose Babar, and we're getting Babar, right, and so on and so forth. So this is how we can use this, right? We can use this without any problem, and we can even use a map. For example, we have a map. So let me just get rid of this, and let's say for example we have a map now, right? So I can say map of type string and integer, and let's call this as map is equivalent to new hash map, which is again going to be a type of string and integer, right? So this is where we're declaring a map, and we'll have to import it, which is going to be java.util.map, and we've imported java.util.map. And let me go and now set this to the request line. So we can say map dot put. We know that we do put, and the key is going to be Sachin. How many let's say about centuries does Sachin have? So I'll say 51, and say map dot put right, and I'll say Virat, how many centuries does Virat have? So I'll say 40, let's say 41, right, as an integer. Sorry, the second parameter is an integer. So I'll say map dot put, right, let's say about the key is Lara, Brian Lara, and he has 34 centuries. Still it has to be integer. First is string and second is integer, and I'll say map dot put, let's say Ricky Ponting, alright, and I will use the number of centuries he had. I'll use 41, right? So let me just do it. request request dot set attribute, alright, so I'll say list of batsman, so I'll say map, right? So now I'll have to retrieve the list of batsman, right, using the same methodology. I don't have to do anything. Hey, if you mind, if you give me out of the request scope the list of batsmen, so I'll say here we go, Lara, 34, Ponting, 41. All right, now if you want to get how many centuries does these batsmen have, all right, even you can run a for each loop right here if you want to run. I'll show you how to loop through also, all right, and let's say about I want to get the centuries secure by Ponting, Ponting, Ricky Ponting. So let me see what we're not getting anything. Maybe P is capital. Okay, Ponting has 41, right? Lara has 30 something, maybe L is capital here. Okay, Lara has 34 centuries, and Virat has 41 centuries, so we are getting 41, so, right? So this is how we can use expression language right here, right? Okay, let me show you a few more things right here. Or even if you don't want to use it like this, you can use it like this. Hey, dot Sachin. Out of the list of batsmen, give me Sachin. So this is how we can do this. 51 you can get right here. So this is how you can even try and do that, right? You can set it to the session also. You can set it many different things, right? And the second thing that I want to show you, you can get values from the request attribute, you can get values from the session attribute, and so on and so forth. For example, if I say, hey, please give me header, header, header values, because there are a few header values which we pass to the server. You can see implicit object, EL resolver. So these are the values that have been passed to header, and you can say header dot host, right? Please give me the host. What is the host name? All right, so let me get it for you. The host is localhost 8080. So now you can clearly see the host of the website, or the server of the website, is localhost 80. You can say what is that? 8080 port, right? Okay. Now param values we've already seen, right? Param values, and let me show you this, right? What we can do, request scope, session scope, param values, headers. So what are available? What are the EL implicit objects available for you? All right, which is expressions language implicit objects. So let me make a list of those implicit objects. So I will say EL so we have seen so far request scope, yeah, seen that. We have session scope, seen that, right? So there is request scope and there is session scope, and we have seen param values. We have not seen that, but I'll show you that param values. So we have param values, we have param, we have header values. I'll show you how to fetch them as well in a loop, so you'll have to be patient. And we have header. So these are the implicit objects available in expressions language, right? So we can use XML tags, formatting the number, and many different things. So for example, let's say about what if I use something like this. So what if I use JSTL, which is Java Server JSP tags language. So I'll say c.set, right? So we are just declaring a variable. So I'll say var, the name is, let's say about some name, right? So the variable name is some name, and the variable some name has some value in it, right? So this is it, and let me just go ahead and say c.out value is equal to, now I want to get the value which is being set here. The variable is some name, and how do you retrieve this value some name? So I'll use expressions language, use dollar, and use this variable name some name to fetch anything that you want to fetch, and I'll say c.out. Alright, so this is c.set, this is set, and this is get, right? It's simple set and get using JSTL. What is JSTL? That is Java Server, or we can simply say JSP tags library, right? JSTL means Java Server based tags library. Alright, so now you can see you are printing some value. What if it is not there? What if you're not supplied any value here? So what if we don't have any value? Now see the power of JSTL and expressions language together. We're not getting anything. You can say nothing in here. So in between you can say nothing in here. Now you will see that you will be, okay, just a moment. Okay, we have nothing in here. All right. So we are using okay, just a moment, c.out, right? And we are using some name which has value nothing. We're not getting it. Or we can, for example, say no name. Should get it. No, we're not getting it. Just a moment. Because we are prefixing C. The moment you prefix C, you can clearly see that JSTL code library has automatically been included. That's why we typed C as a prefix to this library, right? Tags library. Alright then, this is done. Any problem? Yeah, problem is this, that if we don't supply any value, then this is going to come. Alright. So let me first see this. C.out, we're doing c.out. So let me not do this here. Let me give it a value, some value. So we should get some value right here. Okay, let me try and use this right here. So I can use JSTL, I'll say C, and I'm using if. Now using JSTL if this some name, right, if it is null, right, so I'll say if some name is equal to null, and then what you got to do is, let's say empty. So now we are getting some value and we are still getting null. So just a moment, something. All right, so if it is null, then we should get empty. So now we're not getting empty because we're getting some value. Let's say it is null, we're not supplying any value here. So what are we getting? We're still not getting anything. So that is the problem. So I'll say no name. Okay. So what if some name is equivalent to null? Alright. Okay, so I'll say value is null. Still not getting anything. So if that is the test is basically the condition, what do you want to test for? I want to test if this is equivalent to null. That's absolutely fine. Where is some name and the value is null. Yeah, we are getting null, null. Yeah, we're getting null, what we have printed as string. Maybe we have some problems here. What are we going to do? I will say, I'll go to basically the page direct view. So I will use is EL ignored as false, right? Maybe EL is being ignored by your compiler, so you'll use this. If EL is not working, use this. If is EL ignored as false, and if test some name, so let's say dummy name. So let's give it a dummy name, and let's out the dummy name, and let's not out anything. So let's see. If it is null, then empty. Yeah, we are getting empty because the value is null. What if the value is not null? What are we getting? We're still getting empty. Okay, because this is dummy name. This is not some name. So now we're not getting anything. Let's say about if you're not supplying any value, we should get, we're not getting it here. Because the test condition is not working, right? So let me just do it in a different way today. Let us go and declare. I'll say c.set var. So let's call this as dummy name. So anything, or we can say var test var, right? So the name is test var and the value is testing the value, right? And here we go, we will close it down, right? And now here we will program it, right? So I'll say c.choose. Now we can use all, so we are using choose here, and choose contains when then. So I'll say when, right? When the condition test is equivalent to $, so I will say test val, when test val is equivalent to null, and what you got to do when it is equivalent to null, print empty. So I'll see this whether this works. So now we're not getting empty because it's not, right? So I'll just go ahead and delete it completely. For example, it's null, it's not existing. Yeah, we are getting empty now. Now if I reuse it, I'll not be getting this empty right here. That's absolutely fine. Okay, first condition. So because we are using choose, so I will say c.when the test means it's the conditions. What do you want this test condition to be? Right, I will say when it has the value testing. So if it has the value set as let's say about testing, so what do you want then? So I will say yes, testing is done, right? So you can see yes, testing is dome, so it is not dome, it's done. Yes, testing is done. And if we are not supplying anything at all, so it's null, so we will get empty. Yes, we are getting empty. Now let me use few more conditions. What if it is neither null nor testing? So that means it is otherwise. It's just if else and else if. Right, so we will use otherwise here. Right, so otherwise. Right, so I will just use it like the c.otherwise, right? You do one thing, something is, or we can say nothing, so we can say value is not understood. That's if else. So if it's null, else if it's testing, else value not understood. So otherwise means when both the things that do not match. When condition number 1 doesn't match and condition number 2 also does not match, and this condition is supposed to match then. So now let me see this. Now yes, testing is done. We are supplying testing. Can we take this value from the header? So I can say, hey, $param dot value. So we will be taking now the value from the header. So at this moment we are getting empty. So we will say param, right, dot value. So that is value. So as a value is equal to testing. So now yes, testing is done. So value is equal to something that it does not understand. So it's a value is not understood. So this is how we use EL and GSTL all together. Java Server Pages Tags Library. And one of the most important things regarding this is going to be the following, right? So I'll show you this also. So I will use c.set var let's say about format amount to be formatted. For example, if I have to format the value that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 8.89, 1, 2, 3, whatever, it's just a random value given. Now this has to be formatted, right? I'm printing this, now I'll format it, right? So I'll just say br. I will just use 2 break lines, right? And I'll say default. Default value is the following, right? And for that I will use fmt tag, which is just being imported. I can see fmt is imported. JSP GSTL fmt tags library. That's why we are prefixing fmt, right? So I'll use fmt, which is fmt short form of format. What does it mean? It means format, try and format, but what? Format what? Date or number? So I'll say format number. And what is the value? Value is here, amount to be formatted, and I will use the expressions language here. And what do you want to format it with? So I'll say currency. So this has to be, this number has to be formatted to currency. So now you'll be getting default. So the default currency is this $1 to something, right? I'll also show you how to get it rupee wise, right? So no need to worry about that, right? So you'll have to set, right? And let's say now this is the default, right? Currency. And let me use BR and BR again, and let me say fmt dot format number, right? And this time we are going to give let's say about type is equal to currency, and this time the type is going to be, so let's say value to be formatted is going to be the same, value to be formatted, and type is going to be number. Alright, so it will be formatted as a number. Now you can see it is as a number. So C-U-R-R-E-N-C, currency and number. Right, so I'll say currency, this is currency, and this is number. And the third thing that we are going to understand is, okay, the following. So I will say max 3 integer digits. So now let me see maximum 3 integer digits. So how do you do that? So I'll say max integer digits 3. So I just want maximum integer digits 3. Now you can clearly see, right? You're getting maximum integer digits 3, that is 688.891, right? So you're getting maximum integer digits right here. All right, so what is integer digits? That's what you get after the dot, right? So that's here. Okay, so this we are not getting. I don't know why aren't we getting this. So let me check it out. Amount to be formatted, and the type is going to be a number, and the maximum integer digits are going to be 3. So let me take it to maximum 3 fraction digits. So let me see, maximum 3 fraction digits. So I will say max fraction digits are going to be 3. So let me see this now. Yeah, so did we forget to hit a BR perhaps? Yeah, we forgot to hit a BR. So now here we go. Maximum 3 fraction digits. Now you can clearly see you're getting 3 fraction digits after dot. Now you're getting after dot 2 here, right? Because actual is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fraction digits. All right, and here what we are getting is 1, 2. You're getting all actually here. Maximum fraction digits 3. So let me try and change the maximum fraction digits to 2. Now you can see after dot you're getting 2. Fraction means after the dotted decimal notation, which is the floating point representation, right? And you're getting only 8, 9. If you say I want to get 3, so you should get 8, 9, 1. And here you can clearly see you're getting 8, 9, 1. If you say I want to get only 1, you should get 8 only, right? So you can see approximately 8, 9, 1 is 9. So you're getting it 9. It's going to do the floor and seal automatically, right? Approximately 8, 9, 1 is 9. So that's why when I say I need to get 1 fraction digit, so 8, 9, 1 is almost equivalent to 9. Round off, right? So I should say 3. So we're getting 3 fraction digits. So it's only 3 integer digits. So that's also done. Okay. Let's say 10. Right? So maximum integer digits, you're getting 10 now. Right here. So let me copy and paste it and show you guys some more things about formatting, right? So I will say grouping false. So I can say grouping false. Right, so if I use grouping false, you can clearly see it's being grouping. There is grouping clearly if you go ahead and see that it's being grouped, right? Comma and then 4, 5, comma, 6, 6, comma. If you don't want to use groupings, and how do you set the grouping false? So I'll say grouping used as false. I don't want to use groupings. And you can clearly see no grouping is here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just like a plain number without using groupings at all. So you can set grouping used as false, and you can even set a pattern. How do you want to display? Please name a pattern or show a pattern. So it's a pattern. For example, our pattern is going to be, let's say pattern is equal to something that you want to show, and the pattern is 1, 2, 3 dot 1, 2, 3 E0. So you want to show it using this pattern. So let me go ahead and use the pattern same. So I'll say pattern hash 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 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after that E0. So this is the pattern we are going to display our words with. So let me hit a BR and a B and a BR. All right. So now you can clearly see the pattern that we are using here is the following. Right, so you can clearly see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, E6. Now this is hexadecimal, right? You're displaying it in hexadecimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. No, you're displaying only 1, 2 right here. Or we can even increase it. For example, I want to get all, right? I want to get all, maybe. You can increase it, or you can either decrease it. You can see now you're getting 1, 2, 3.4. Right, or I want to get after dot, I want to get more values, right? So this is how you can choose the pattern of what you want, right? E means you're going to go with hexadecimals, or you don't want to go with hexadecimals. And now here you can see that you're not going with hexadecimals right here. Here last at the end you're going with hexadecimal 3 4 5 6 7 E6 is this. So this is the hexadecimal of this, so you are displaying it in a specific pattern. You can of course choose a specific pattern. Let me show you another thing which is I suppose date formatting, right? So, or maybe we don't have ample amount of time remaining. Yeah, it's already been 40, so I will continue with this in the next class, inshallah, right? So see you guys. Do practice very hard. Expression language is going to be very important. I'll show you date formatting in the next class, and you need not to worry about those things, right? You'll have to be quite ready for new things that are coming, right? Okay. All right, then let's basically wind up this, or let's start a new lecture tomorrow with the date formatting. Bye bye. Take care.